Number 10. Olivia McCann. When a British flight attendant named Olivia McCann noticed that her lips were swelling to a concerning size after receiving a filler injection in 2020, the beautician who treated the 21-year-old reassured her that it was a normal side effect. McCann's lips tripled in size, leaving her too humiliated to leave her house or accept video calls from her boyfriend. She missed 2 days of work and underwent a painful treatment to get the filler dissolved. This was just the latest of several botched lip injections that McCann has received over the years. Her first bad experience happened in 2018 when she developed pea-sized lumps at the injection sites. The beautician offered to dissolve the lumps, but McCann claimed that she simply injected dissolver into the lumps and failed to massage them, which is typically part of the process. Despite her bad experiences, the young woman said that she had also undergone successful lip injections and that she planned to continue getting them in the future. But she vowed to be much pickier about salons and to thoroughly vet a place before giving them her business. Number 9. SHARI MANCHON. When a botched surgery left 40-year-old beauty vlogger SHARI MANCHON with a disfigured nose in 2017, she was worried that the undesired results might stop her from ever being able to do her job again. The devastating mishap left a Palm Beach, Florida resident and mother of 2, resembling what she described as the toucan on the Fruit Loops cereal box. This type of deformity, commonly known as polybeak, causes the cartilage in a person's nose to collapse and the tip of it to turn black. Manchon had splurged on the $19,000 procedure as her 40th birthday gift to herself and was initially pleased with the results. But her plastic surgeon urged her to get some revision done on the tip of her nose, leaving her with a lack of blood circulation that caused the polybeak. The damage became so visible that Manchon was unable to cover it up with concealer and had to stop making her makeup videos. It was especially horrible for a beauty professional like Manchon, who says she used to advise Oprah and Goldie Hawn on their makeup. She flew to Los Angeles to consult an expert in a desperate bid to save her appearance, but he advised her that a third operation would only cause further harm with the condition her nose was in. The doctor recommended leech therapy, and at first Manchon was understandably averse to the idea. But she gave it a try, and after 2 treatments, her nose was looking much healthier and was restored enough for her to schedule a final surgery to repair any remaining issues. Number 8. Colline REES. The day before Colline REES was due to fly to Tenerife for a much-needed vacation with her husband and kids in 2019, she decided to get some last-minute beauty treatments done. She visited a spa in her hometown in South Wales and was left with what she described as angry bird's eyebrows, making her worried that she wouldn't be able to capture any memorable photos with her family during their trip. Rees was a regular customer at the salon and had never had any problems before, but a young trainee had treated her that day, and their lack of experience was evident in the results. The worker accidentally waxed too much of the woman's natural eyebrow off, and another, more experienced beautician recommended filling it in with some tint. When Rees looked in the mirror, she was horrified to see that her eyebrows resembled 2 giant black uneven slugs. She desperately tried to remove the color in her car as she hurried out of the salon in tears, but it had already dried. To make matters worse, Rees ended up having an allergic reaction to the treatment. She appealed to her friends and family for help fixing her eyebrows in a desperate Facebook post. A friend who is a makeup artist came to the rescue and taught Rees how to correct the embarrassingly botched brows. Her husband also sat in for the lesson so that he could help his wife look her best during their getaway. Number 7. Crystal Weinstock. A 37-year-old Texas mother named Crystal Weinstock was shocked recently after going to a beautician to get her eyebrows microbladed and being left with oversized cartoon-like brows. She paid $340 for the procedure at a salon in Houston and went home looking so different that her young daughter was afraid to go anywhere near her. Not wanting anyone else to suffer a similar experience, WEINSTOCK posted photos of her botched eyebrows on social media, along with an explanation about the numerous factors she blamed for the poor work. She said that when she expressed disappointment with the results, the salon staff blamed her skin for how the brows turned out. Despite having only 1 year of experience, the technician who completed the work apparently asserted that she was a master at the trade. WEINSTOCK also accused the worker of drinking alcohol on the job and said that the woman wants to teach others how to microblade, even though she is clearly unqualified to do so. The viral post highlighted the importance of being extremely discerning when choosing a microblading professional and garnered widespread sympathy from social media users who were shocked by Crystal's experience. Los Angeles-based permanent makeup artist Erica Kovitz offered to do the work necessary to fix WEINSTOCK's eyebrows for free and started a crowdfunding campaign to raise the money needed to cover the travel costs. The fundraiser has collected enough money so far to get Crystal to LA for her first treatment, which she recently underwent. She will need at least one more removal session and will have to return for a third time to get her brows microbladed properly and touched up. Number 6. DERRIE Matthews. 36-year-old DERRIE Matthews was due to attend a wedding last year and decided that she wanted to get a spray tan for the occasion. The event was just 3 days away when the natural redhead went to a salon in Buckinghamshire, England, and paid £25 for the treatment. Because she's so pale, Matthews presumes that to obtain her ideal complexion, she would need to be sprayed twice. The technician complied with the woman's wishes, and at first it seemed as though everything turned out all right. But the results take time to fully appear, and DERRIE's skin tone continued to darken after she went home. She woke up the next day looking completely unnatural, and she didn't even get mad at her husband when he looked at her and started laughing. Matthews blamed herself for choosing to get sprayed twice, which she now realized was unnecessary. Knowing that the results were temporary and that all she could do was wait for the excessive tan to fade, she took a humorous approach to the mishap. She also said that the experience wouldn't stop her from getting another spray tan in the future, but now she knows not to overdo it. Number 5. Mummified Makeover. A Russian architect named Svetlana was left with horrifying damage to her face last year after undergoing a questionable beauty treatment. Her boyfriend had told her she looked old, so she consulted a cosmetologist who recommended removing old lifting gel implants in the woman's face with injections of a controversial drug called longidaza. Not long after the procedure, Svetlana looked in the mirror and saw that her face looked like it was melting. Her skin began to sink even worse as it dried out, as if it was becoming separated from the woman's skull and muscles. Svetlana went back to the cosmetologist, who offered to alleviate her symptoms by injecting more longidaza and some filler. Her complications continued to worsen, and doctors cautioned that the consequences could eventually harm her eyesight. In addition to her physical suffering, Svetlana endured emotional despair as a result of the botched beauty treatment. Her boyfriend broke up with her after seeing the results, and she became a recluse. On the rare occasion that she does leave the house, she covers her face as much as possible with a COVID mask, dark glasses, and a hat. After finding out that other patients had experienced similar symptoms after visiting the provider who administered the longidaza, Svetlana contacted investigators. Doctors performed a medical exam and determined that the damage to her face is irreversible because the drug had destroyed the collagen in her skin. At best, restorative surgery will make Svetlana look somewhat better, but her appearance will never be restored to what it looked like before the longidaza injections. The cosmetologist has denied the allegations and is reportedly being investigated. Number 4. FARNAZ Khan. After her father had a stroke in 2016, stress caused FARNAZ Khan's face to break out. A practitioner in Bradford, England, recommended treating the young woman's acne and hyperpigmentation with a plasma treatment that was meant to clear her skin. During the procedure, Khan complained about a burning sensation, and the provider said that this was normal. But the excruciating pain only worsened afterward, and when she woke up the next morning, her face was extremely swollen. The symptoms got so bad that Khan went to the hospital, where doctors kept her overnight after determining that she had third-degree burns under her eyes. They feared that she could lose her vision and would be left permanently scarred. After being released, Khan repeatedly contacted the skincare practitioner, hoping to get some help getting her face back to normal. But the provider refused to take her calls, and her husband eventually called Khan and told her to stop harassing his wife. Her skin was extremely sensitive from the faulty treatment, to the point where most skincare products caused her to break out, including makeup. Khan fell into a depression and stopped going out and socializing because she didn't want to deal with people's hurtful reactions to her appearance. After spending thousands of dollars trying to figure out how to cover up the dark spots beneath her eyes, she developed her own oil using all natural ingredients. The cruelty-free concoction has worked wonderfully to reduce the appearance of the scars, and it inspired the botched beauty treatment survivor to start her own skincare brand called SCX Global. Now that Khan's creation has given her life back to her, she no longer has to worry about what people might think when she goes out into public. In fact, her face has become quite well known, owing to her highly successful business endeavors. Number 3. Jayne Bowman. 59-year-old Jayne Bowman paid several $100s to get some loose neck skin tightened last year at a provider in Hampshire, England. She was told to expect temporary red marks on the treatment area immediately afterward, and that they would eventually go away on their own. But the hundreds of marks that Bowman was left with never faded like they were supposed to. She told ITV News that she was traumatized from the ordeal, and that she has a difficult time leaving her home because of the stares she receives from people. Bowman said that when she does leave the house, she wraps a scarf around her neck. She acknowledged that not all beauticians are bad, but urged people to really do their research before going to one. Her experience happened amid a surge in complaints throughout the UK about botched beauty treatments. The industry is highly unregulated there, requiring no formal qualifications for certain procedures that can be dangerous or even deadly if the provider doesn't know what they're doing. Cases like Jayne's have prompted British lawmakers to call for heightened regulations for aesthetic treatments and more stringent standards for who is allowed to legally practice. Naima Williams is a nurse who runs 2 beauty clinics in England and supports the proposed changes to the industry. Speaking with ITV News, she urged people to understand what to look for when they find providers for cosmetic services. She pointed out that over 80% of the people who have filed complaints in the country found their technician on social media and strongly discouraged future customers from going that route. Number 2. MOLLY-MAE Hague. Earlier this year, reality TV star MOLLY-MAE Hague revealed in a YouTube video to her fans that she had gotten a procedure done to remove some peach fuzz on her chin, and that it had caused the opposite effect. After getting the treatment known as dermaplaning, a cosmetic procedure that removes the upper layers of the skin, including fine hair, Hague's chin hair began to grow more rapidly than ever before. She continued to get dermaplaning facials to keep up with her bothersome reappearing facial hair, but said that she wished she had never started in the first place. Hague believes that if she had avoided dermaplaning altogether, it would have spared her from the excessive growth she's dealing with now. Because she's admittedly not the type to keep up with routine beauty treatments, doing something that ultimately required more maintenance ran contrary to her goals. While Hague has a strong opinion against dermaplaning, it's generally considered safe and comes with few risks to most people, as long as it's done by a certified dermatologist. She may just be one of the few unlucky people who experience unusual effects from the procedure. Number 1. Victoria QUEZADA. After trying to get rid of her genetic double chin through diet and exercise, 29-year-old Victoria QUEZADA decided last year to try a procedure called cryolipolysis. Also known as cool sculpting, it involves using freezing temperatures to break down fat cells. 3 days after the treatment, the 29-year-old Sacramento-based bartender and TikToker posted a video revealing a second-degree burn on her chin and jaw. It was unclear whether the machine used on QUEZADA was made by the actual cool sculpting brand or another company. She claimed that she regretted having the treatment done and that it had the opposite effect on her self-esteem that she had anticipated in terms of negative side effects, leaving her holed up at home and avoiding going into public while she recovered. Her attorney told BuzzFeed News that QUEZADA was likely to suffer from residual scarring at the very least, and said that he planned to file a lawsuit against the salon that she went to for negligence and any other violations that apply to the case. The announcement came 2 years after a Manhattan woman sued a spa where a cool sculpting machine left second and third-degree burns on her stomach, indicating that there may be others out there who have suffered from similar effects. Thanks for watching. Would you rather have your entire eyebrow waxed off at the hands of an unskilled beautician, or go a month without using deodorant? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.